views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of Bronxnet or the program underwriters.
Opening one of the first abortion clinics in the U.S., founder, president, and CEO of Choices Women's Medical Center, Merle Hoffman, joins me for a statement regarding the Supreme Court overturning of Roe v. Wade. Let's hear what she has to say.
Well, as you can imagine, I've been called right and left about what I think of this and am I ready? So this is the statement I prepared. I am ready, but like the death of my mother, I was prepared. But how are you ever prepared for an illegitimate Supreme Court that rips away fundamental human and civil rights for half of this country's population? How can you ever get ready for that? Now, in this pivotal moment, how we act, who we are, will determine the futures of our daughters and our granddaughters for generations to come. We refuse to accept this illegitimate decision from this court, and we refuse to accept a society where we are forced to build safe havens and fund our own oppression by paying for women to travel for their own lives. We demand an immediate federal intervention in whatever way possible to ensure the safety of all citizens seeking abortions. As long as one woman, one child, one person is not safe, none of us are safe. That's my statement. So it basically, we don't mourn, we organize, and we fight.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, we have, let's say, about 1 minute left. How is reproductive health at risk, and how is women's health in general at risk?
It's terribly at risk because illegal abortion causes deaths, botched, infertility, all sorts of things. And then let's not forget forced motherhood, because there's so many women that will not be able to access legal, safe abortion, and they will be forced to become mothers against their will. And I consider that a form of slavery, and the state and or the church has absolutely no right to control our decisions on motherhood.
And how will this affect future generations?
Well, as I said in my statement, I don't want to have to look at my daughter and say, they took away your right to be free to make moral judgments, and I did nothing. It has to affect this generation. We have to answer to our daughters, our granddaughters, and we have to answer to history. What we do in this moment will determine who we are. We have to fight, we have to have courage, and it's for the very long.
Now, I know for many people, they say that abortions will always exist. Safe abortions is what's at risk.
Oh, of course.
Explain that.
Women have always had abortions. That's why I go around with my 7-foot hanger, because this is the future for American women. Look at this hanger, because this is our future. Yes, of course, women always understood biologically, philosophically, morally, that this is their right. And to rip this away is unconscionable, which is why I'm calling this decision illegitimate, and it cannot and will not stand.
Now, I know for some there's a little bit of confusion. What does it mean that the federal right is gone and that certain states have the choice, have their own choice to make?
This is also a struggle between state and federal power, as in the Civil War. The states want to decide, they want to have the power to decide, this fundamental right. But there are rights that the state should not be deciding. For instance, do you want the state that you live in to decide if you can vote, if you can, have religious freedom? All of the fundamental transcendent rights are federal rights. This must be put as a federal right, because I tell you that these fundamentalists are going for a federal ban against abortion. They want to see it banned in the entire country. And the party in power, Democrats, must act now. I don't want to wait until, November. Women are going to die from today till November. What are you going to do about them?
Merle, thank you so much for joining us.
Okay.